Today we will discuss few more concepts related to that is about network layer. That is, you know that the functions of the network layer are logical addressing, routing, vice versa system, management, routing, and all other routing is also the function of the network layer. That is, in routing, also the function of the network layer. And also, the logical addressing is also the function of the network layer. That is that is in internet. That is, here you see here logic how the IP will take care of that. That is transfer of information. How suppose IP, that is network layer is there which contains so many protocols. That is IPv4 is there, IGNP is there, ICNP is there, ARP is there. These are all the protocols which are there in the network layer. Therefore, IP is so important. Logical addressing. That is suppose I am here. One of my friends is elsewhere in America, Australia, Europe, wherever he may be. Suppose some message I transmit, suppose it is connected to the internet, he is also on the internet. Suppose we connect I will transmit the message to him. How it will go to his system? Even though lakhs of systems are connected, lakhs, crores. So nowadays everywhere, everyone is using. Therefore, to transmit the message, whatever I am transmitting here, to transmit to the destination, one of my friend who is there in another state, another country, how it will go to that is IP will take care. Even though thousands, lakhs, crores of systems are connected to the net. Therefore, IP protocol, IPv4. Here, this is, we know that is ISO OS reference model is having so many layers. That is so many layers: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, and then application layer. So many layers, 7 layers. Already we discussed that. What are the layers which are there in the ISO OS reference model, which was introduced in the year 1957. Then we know that the application layer contains so many. These are the protocols. Transport layer consists of SCP, TCP, transmission control protocol, UDP, user data protocol, network layer, which contains IP, is the main protocol to transmit the data from source destination when they are connected to the net. Already we have discussed what are IP addresses. Address is important. Transmission of data. Suppose I want to transmit the information, only data is not required, address is sufficient. Suppose we know the address, then only we can transmit the message to a particular system. Suppose we don't know the address, how we can transmit? Address is very, very important. Therefore, addressing is also important. And also we discussed about, in the previous class we have discussed about what are classless addressing, what are classful addressing, what are the IPv4 addresses. That is only 32 bits, and maximum we have how many addresses we got? We have only 400 4 billion addresses were there. But nowadays it is not sufficient. Why? Because users are more. Throughout the world, how many users are there? At this instant, how many are there? Internet users, they are using the internet. So, therefore, afterwards, what they will do, they have changed day by day the revolution in the field of computer communication also. Therefore, afterward, the version changed. They changed from IPv4 to IPv6, where addresses will be more. That is, in IPv4, why we are having only 400 crores means the IP address is represented by only 32 bits. But in IPv6, it is represented by 2:128. Abundant addresses. Address is very, very important. Why address is important? Because suppose I will tell one of you, take this book and keep it in my home. Immediately you will ask, sir, where is your home? Which home? Which street? Which house number? You ask me. If you don't know the address, how, where you place this sign? Immediately what was address. Like here in computer communication also, suppose you want to transmit the information, then you should know that. To which system you want to transmit the message. Therefore, address is important. Therefore, here we are having the addresses. The internet service provider. What? IS internet service provider give you the address. Also, know what are the importance of classful addressing. What are the importance of classless addressing. In classful, what happens? Suppose internet service provider they give the address. Some only 10 20 addresses are used. So many tens of them. In classful addressing, the internet service provider will not give one or two addresses. Suppose I want only one address, they will not give. They will give a block of addresses. Block, for example, 10,000 addresses, 20,000 addresses. Right? In previous class also, we had discussed about what different types of classful addresses. Class A, Class B, Class C, Class D, Class C. If suppose when we request, they will give a block of address. One block, it may contain 256. That is Class A, I think. Class A contains 256. But some big company is there. Infosys is there. There 2000 users are there. Internet users are there. Then it is not sufficient. Then they have to take one block, that is Class B. If they have to take the address related to Class B. But in Class B, suppose they take given one block, how many addresses are there? 65,000. They will give one block, 65,000. 65,000, but they don't want 65,000. Only they want 2,000. Then what happens? So many addresses are there. Only 2,000 are used. Rest of the 63,000 addresses are wasted. Therefore, there is a disadvantage in classful addressing. Therefore, afterwards, day by day, there is a revolution in computer communication also. Therefore, what they introduce concept of classless. In classless addressing, what they will do, what they did, that is only how much you want that much. In the ratio of n raised to 2. N raised to 2 means suppose minimum it will be 2 addresses. And in the 2, 4, 8, like this, they will, how much they will? In class, there is an advantage of using addresses also. How we can effectively, efficiently use the address. There is importance of addresses. Suppose in mobile communication, how there is a huge importance of frequency, bandwidth, like in mobile, in here also addresses also. Therefore, Airtel mobile companies, they give Airtel, Reliance, whatever, they give to the government the amount in terms of lakhs of 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs per simply to purchase a limited band of frequencies. That's only 800 megahertz to 840. Only for 40 megahertz frequency, they pay 10 lakhs per year. That much importance of communication. That much important for the frequency. Like here also, there is the importance of addresses. If you don't have address, how you can transfer the information? Impossible. If you know the address, then only you can transfer. Otherwise, therefore, when you connect to the net, the internet immediately provides you address. The internet service provider. Therefore, here these are important. These all are protocols. Here physical layer. Here in this data link layer, both are combined. But here actually they are separate. But for our analysis, I am telling this both are combined. In here we are discussing the fourth model network layer. It is IPv4. This is a protocol. All this are what? All this are the protocols. Protocol means what? Important concept. Protocol means a set of rules which governs communication between the two systems. So all these are protocols. These are the supporting protocols to this. IPv4. Then in transport layer we'll discuss about TCP, transmission control protocol, user data control protocol. Those protocols important. We already know what is the function of network layer, what is the function of transport layer. That is, even though it is transmitted to the destination, in which process the information should be stored. Because when they open the internet, so many he has opened so many. He has opened PDF, he opened Gmail, he may open video website, he may open so many websites. When message is received, in which process the information is shared. That is taken care by transport layer. In next module, we will discuss about transmission control, user data protocol. That is the first model that we will discuss in that one. Now we will discuss about IPv4. What an IPv4 protocol is that? What is the user datagram? User datagram format of internet protocol. Here, that is user datagram format. If protocol is there, then here, whenever I told that, whenever you want to transmit the information from source to destination, for example, I am on the system, I am in the system, I put the software, I saw that whatever will be there, this software is there inside the system. When it is connected to the net, at that time what happens, that is each layer will add header and trailer. You know that header and trailer. What is the importance of header and trailer? Header and trailer will give you the address, which is the source address, which is the data destination address. Here, and data is there, but where this data should be transmitted, to which system? Therefore, header gives the information. In every layer, how it will perform their function? By attaching header. Header will take care of all activities of a particular layer. Header is. Therefore, here in IPv4 protocol, that is header not only contains the source address and the destination address, it also, apart from this, it contains so many other things. This is user data format. Here, this apart from source address and destination address, it contains so many other components. Those are what is here. What is this header is of 20 to 60 bytes. This header will be of 20 to 60 bytes. Total this length of this packet of network layer will be of 20 to 65,536 bytes. Means suppose a frame is there, a packet is there, which contains this much data and this much header. Minimum size of the header is 20 bytes. Maximum will be 60 bytes. Therefore, this is whatever there is. This is nothing but this is only about this. The content, what is there inside this. In the header, what is there, what is there at the top. Elaborated this. That is version. Here it will tell what version it is. What is, whether it is IPv4, IPv6, it will tell version of the IPv4. Whether it is IPv4 or it is IPv6, it will tell that one. Then header length. How much is header length? Because already I told that it varies from 20 to 60 bytes. Here we have to tell to the receiver how much is the length of the header. Whether it is 20 bytes, it is 30 bytes, 40 bytes. Here it will mention that what is the header length. It will tell. Service means so many different types of services are there. Means suppose when this is information data is received to the receiver. Here when data is coming from the system to transmitter, it comes from application layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and when it passes from each layer will what it will do, it will act as a source and destination information, and afterwards it will transmit through physical layer. It is transmitted to other system. Physical layer is usually hardware, not software, whereas data layer, network layer, all other layers are software. Therefore, when it is transmitted to the receiver, how it is received? It receives reverse, opposite. Means first data will go to the data link layer, next network layer, next transport layer, next session, like this. Here, all will be data is encapsulated by all header. That is application layer add its own header and trailer. This network layer own header. When it comes to the receiver, it decapsulates. Means when it comes to the data link layer, it will remove the header. When it comes to the network layer, it will remove the header, and when it goes to the transport, it will remove the header. Like only in application layer, only data is there. This is only data, not all these headers. Why all these headers are used there? Then because we want, these are nothing but these are helpful in transmitting the information from source to destination. System, what is the technology? How we can transmit? Simply I will transmit the message here from here to Ashton. How it is possible? Because therefore we lack those. They will take care of all. How this message is transmitted to the particular system, and these when it goes to that system, how it will process then how to take, how internet will take care of transmission of data from source to destination. Already in logical addressing, I discussed about how the data transmitted from one system to another system. That is, here what happens, the address which is provided in by IP or network layer will not change. Only address in the data link layer will change. When it comes to the router, here in communication we use the routers, the repeaters, the active hubs, and so many devices are there. Intermediate devices are there used for communication. Therefore, here that is those devices, their physical address will change. There is no change in physical address. Therefore, already I discussed that one. Therefore, that service type, but this service type when it goes to the receiver, then the receiver should take the data, and here the IP mentions also that in transport layer protocol, here in the transmitter, which type of the protocol I have used. That is, this is IP. It will mention the upper layer protocol, whether it has used the TCP protocol, whether it has used SCP protocol, whether it is used UDP protocol. In that it is mentioned that is what is the service, and also some services. These are there in some after. Not only some messages, very important, they should be transmitted very fast. What's the service? I want fast services, reliable services, or I want some services that is so many different services. There should not be loss in different services, minimized delay, fast speed of the packet should be fast. Some protocols want some particular specific. In services, what happens? Suppose so many different types of antennas. Antennas are there. There are different types of antenna. What are what we use antenna? Suppose it's a transmitter. What it will do? It will convert electrical signal to electromagnetic waves. At the receiver, it will convert those electron waves which is coming from space or something. Suppose television signals, how it is coming from space. Where are those electromagnetic signals? Nearly 36,000 kilometers away from Earth. From there, electromagnetic waves, television waves are coming. On the top of your place the antenna, and it will receive those electromagnetic waves, and convert those electromagnetic waves. That antenna will convert that one and goes to the signal in the electrical form, and you have connected a cable to that, and that is given to the television. Television, what it will do, inside it is having so many components. Demodulator is there, demultiplexer is, so many components are there in television. That will, what it will do, it will give the message, whatever it is, which is in the form of electrical. One side it is converted to audio, video, text, whatever. It is antenna. But antenna only one. But why we are having so many different types of antennas? So 100 different. Suppose you studied antenna wave propagation. There we have discussed so many different types. Yoda antenna, helix antenna, slot antenna, patch antenna, microstrip antenna. So what is parabolic reflector antenna, lens antenna. So why we are having so many different? Only purpose is same, but why? Because each and every antenna is having particular. Some transmitter want only directivity should be more. It should be more direct. Some want to broadcast everywhere. Some antennas require broadcast the signal everywhere. Right? Depending on our application, depending on our requirement, we are having 100 different types of antennas. Isotropic antennas, parabolic reflector antennas, Yoda antennas. Like here also, depending on the service, what type of service, the message should be transmitted fast, take less time. Like this, whatever we want, that service we have to mention. Depending on that, the service will take care of that. Then total length. Total length means here, total length means how much? The total length is only header length is, this header length will provide what is header. But total length, this is the data plus header. Then here identification, flags are there, fragmentation. This in the future classes we will discuss that one. And apart from this, context, time to read. Time to means when this data, the frame, the packet, when it is transmitted in the network, it passes through various routers, various devices. Suppose I want to transmit the message from here to America or Australia. Simply it will go to America. So where is America? Where is Australia? How will it transmit? It will propagate through various routers. And therefore, here time to limit, it will give some time. Means how many routers it has to pass. Minimum, suppose it will require only 10 routers to pass, but here it will provide 20 maximum. Therefore, when it passes through each router, this time to live is decremented by 1. If it's 20, after passing one router, the value is decremented by 1. 19. Suppose it will transmit by one more router, that is it is decremented by 8. Like it goes on decrementing. Suppose it is just received to the destination, no problem. If it is not received to the destination and this time to live becomes 0, after another router the value becomes 0, under that tag, the internet what it will not keep this frame or the packet in the internet. It will discard that. This therefore it will mention what is the tag to do. Here this is 8 bits, it will mention what is the tag to do. Important, very interesting. If you understand, you feel very nice. Very nice. Then protocols. This is what type of protocol you want. The upper layer protocols, what type of, whether it is UDP, SCTP, this is mentioned. Then header chapter, this is also very important. That is, suppose we want to transmit a redundance, suppose redundance flows, then it will be transmitted. Like this, here source address. Source address is there, destination address is there. It is important because which is the source which is transmitting, destination address to which system. This is also 30, this is also 33. And total this is the length of this will be of 30. This will mention to which system data should be transmitted. It will mention to which, from which system. Very important. This important question. Definitely such questions will be asked in exam. Okay? Okay? Thank you.